Indicators of intolerance. In planning curative policies and actions for tolerance, the degree and type of intolerance that may be present in the environment in question must be identified and assessed. The following can be regarded as symptoms or indicators of intolerance. 1. Language. Denigrations and pejorative or exclusive language that devalues, demeans, and dehumanizes cultural, racial, national or sexual groups. 2. Stereotyping. Describing all members of a group as characterized by the same attributes, usually negative. 3. Teasing. Calling attention to particular human behavior patterns, attributes and characteristics so as to ridicule or insult. 4. Prejudice. Judgment on the basis of negative generalizations and stereotypes rather than on the actual facts of a case or specific behavior of an individual. 5. Scapegoating. Blaming traumatic events or social problems on a particular group. Discrimination. Exclusion from social benefits and activities on primarily prejudicial grounds. 6. Ostracism. Behaving as if the others were not present or did not exist. Refusal to speak to or acknowledge others or their culture. 7. Harassment. Deliberate behavior to intimidate and degrade others, often intended as a means of forcing them out of the community, organization or group. 8. Bullying. Use of superior physical capacity or greater numbers to humiliate others, deprives them of priority or status, or forces them into particular actions. 9. Expulsion. Officially or forcefully expelling or denying right of entrance or presence in a place, social group, profession or any place where group activity occurs, including those upon which survival depends, such as places of employment or shelter, etc. 10. Exclusion. Denying possibilities to meet fundamental needs or participate fully in the society, as in particular communal activities. 11. Segregation. Enforced separation of people of different races, religions or gender, usually to the disadvantage of one group. 12. Repression. Forceful prevention of enjoyment of human rights. These indicators also include the desecration or destruction of cultural and religious symbols and structures that belong or are of a special value to diverse racial, national and cultural groups. Forcefully depriving the people who belong to those groups of their property, forcing them into particular actions, denying them the right to participate in society, actually expelling them from society or isolating them, limiting or denying the rights of persons who belong to those groups, subjecting them to violence, all the way to their physical destruction. Intolerance can be divided into the following categories depending on the nature and peculiarities of the social subjects practiced. Interpersonal, i.e., intolerant behavior between two schoolchildren, between a person and a social group. For instance, when one person in the class is opposed to the rest of the class and vice versa. Intergroup, i.e., between different social groups. Social groups can be large or small, such as school classes, political parties, as well as groups of the rich and the poor, social and financial classes, women and men, ethnic groups, nations and peoples, races, civilizations, etc. For example, large civilizations, Western and Oriental, Christian and Muslim civilizations, etc., that have been developing for thousands of years will still last for a long time. Therefore, despite the differences between them, they must necessarily coexist. In the modern world, it is necessary to prevent the attempts of any civilization to take over the others, as well as any civilization's convictions that its principles and values are the only true ones. No civilization in the world is superior to any other. There are certain principles, views, or religious beliefs in a civilization that are acceptable to those born into them but not for other civilizations.